Hi, welcome to what am I doing today? Virtual Repair Cafe. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. And we are number 4, Virtual Repair Cafe number 4. Here we are. Taking a little bit of getting set up today, so it's a bit later than usually would like to do it, but been doing homeschooling, we've been busy, you know, there's lots of other stuff going on. So yeah, it just took a little bit longer to get ready, get moving today with it. Yeah, I'll be on Tuesday the 12th of May. That's apparently, I think that's right, I don't know. It's been a very busy old week. I think we had Friday off of doing stuff like this because it was the bank holiday. So we had some nice fun over the weekend. Did just nice fun things. It was nice and sunny out in the garden. Even got a cup of tea with me today. I've just realised it's matching the cardigan. This is nice, isn't it? This is from my trip to New York. I'll put that one in there. So, oh, that's good. Nice cup of tea with soya. Excuse me, this is the first 5 minutes I've had alone for, I don't know, about 8 weeks or something. Right, so today I have found only 2 more things probably that I have to repair. Like the last few weeks I've repaired quite a lot of stuff, and surprisingly still kept finding more bits to do, but today I was lacking in bits to repair. So thankfully I found this and this little number that need repairing. What they need doing is quite simple-ish. The dress, the overlocking stitch has come undone from around the waistline, which I'm going to show you how to repair without an overlocker. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of overlocking to show you how I do that. So it's quite fun just having a look at what the industrial machines can do. And then the blazer, the jacket has I bought this from a charity shop not that long ago, and scope. I bought it from Scoping, and then I was like, oh, it's only £1. I'm having that. That's lovely. And then I got it home, and then I realised that it had this big sort of tear in this part of the back, which is fine. I'm going to fix that up today. Probably start with that one, I think. Yep, I think so. Just having a little bit of tea. Just could be a just me just sitting having a cup of tea today. I'm sure that'll be fine. It won't make for much watching it back, but at least I'm going to feel pretty good. I'll tell you what though, it's been a busy week, like proper busy week. Like in here, never mind just the normal everything else. I say busy week, it's only Tuesday, isn't it? Right. It's fine. I'm going to have a bit more tea. That's what I'm going to do. These are great mugs. Got 3. 3, one for all of us. I love NY. Blue one, a yellow one, and a green one. I had $10 left on my way back at whichever airport I was at. And they were just happened to be $10 for 3 mugs. What a bargain! I mean, they're not that great quality, but still. Yep. So, yeah, a busy week. I'll probably tell you a little bit more about what I've been doing later on as I'm going. Which side is it? Here it is. So this is what we're facing at the moment. It's quite a significant rip actually, that. But it was only £1. Can't really complain, can you? So that is the only thing that I need to do. In fact, the reason why I was in the Scope in Scunthorpe is I just popped into Cafe India and I booked my the fashion show event that I'm going to have, like a biannual event, one in February and one in September, to launch ranges yeah, so I went in to book September the 12th, which is the date that the event will hopefully be happening, if it's still able to happen. I'm not cancelling it yet. I refuse. So I went into Scope to have a chat with the manager there about her maybe allowing us to have some of the second-hand garments from there, so that we could put them on the catwalk. And she was all well up for it. So that's really good, and it will be happening, fingers crossed, if all goes to plan. Anyway, we're ploughing on with all sorts of other stuff. And what else have I done this last week? Started the podcasts. Oh yeah, I like to talk. What else? I feel like I've done loads, but what have I actually done? Loads of stuff. Just too much to remember right now, obviously. Too much for me. Now, I've just realised what I'm going to have to do with this repair is to open up the seam. This is a common thing in blazers and jackets, suits and things, that this is something that you will find. Some jackets, and in fact I think the jacket that I repaired last week didn't have any lining inside it. A lot of blazers, jackets, suits do have linings in them, and they are usually sewn in at both ends. So top, sewn in, closed up, and then again they are closed up at the bottom as well. So you definitely you're going to have to open up the seam to be able to get in there to fix it. I could just stitch it over, and I might do that. Shh, don't tell anyone. I might just stitch this up. But the best proper way of doing it is to go in, open up your seam, and actually do it properly. So there. I'm just wondering where they're unpicker. Honestly, where is there today? Unpicker. Oh, love these things. So bright and yellow. Which brings me on to another little thing that I've been working on. That's it. I knew there was something else. Yeah, been working on a little pack for those of you that might want to do your own repairs at home. DIY bag. But that more information on that will be coming when it's ready. So to do it properly, to unpick the seam here at the bottom, and you're not ripping any of the fabric, just ripping the thread where the seam is. So you can open it up just a small amount and then put your hand in. Oh. All right, maybe you should have done it slightly wider than that. That's better. Now I can get my big fat hand in, grab it and pull it through. So the area that you need to fix is right there. See, I know I feel better that I'm doing it the right way around rather than doing it the wrong way around, because I've got to, do it. We're doing this properly. We're not messing about here. This is serious. So there are a lot of excess threads here. I don't like them. They're going to get trimmed out. And then we've got a good clean base to start from. So I'm just going to take out those little bits by snipping the little thread snippers out. Because it's quite fine, this fabric, it should trim nicely with these thread snippers. You can use your fabric scissors, or just any sort of sharp scissors will be fine. And then all I'm doing is trying to do it nice and neatly, doing it sort of backwards, holding it up like that, really. Oh no. Right, get rid of those bits and just try and neaten all those edges off, because you need to get to a clean edge to be able to sew that, to have something to sew it against. All this bit's going everywhere, honestly. My workroom's always covered in bits of thread and bits of fabric, and it's just another sweeping job. It's hard enough tidying the actual house, never mind this room, but I might have to once I've done this lot. So just trimmed it down a bit, so as you can see it's not quite so frayed on those edges. Can still probably take a little bit more off, actually. I'm sliding away on my stool. What's going on? A bit warm. Or is it? I think it's a bit cold today. Anyone else? Just me, I think. Right. So just trim these a little bit farther. Yep. So concentrating, I just stop talking. I'm quiet. I can hear the birds outside though. Can't hear the kids, which should be more alarming. Oh no, I can hear him again. It's fine. So yes, I've been doing like late night podcasts, just recording them, and I haven't actually put anything out there. Some good stuff. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of the stuff that's that I've been doing on my blog over the last couple of years. There's some really interesting, I think, some really interesting written pieces that I've done, and just be quite nice to have them as audio. Got a lot of good comments from people when I did them originally in the written form, so it's quite nice to just sort of revisit them, have a look at things. You know, it's all to do with self-help and how you make yourself feel as good as possible. I think it's really important right now, actually, to just sort of reflect and look at how we did manage to sort of to get through. Yeah, so just going to look at, just mainly for myself, then read through it, make it a nice little audio, a little podcast, just get it out there. Maybe help somebody else that may be going through something in a similar ilk. At the moment, I certainly felt like I've struggled maybe a little bit more this last couple of weeks. I don't know, monotony of everything really, more than anything actual. Just feeling like I've got so much going on in here that I don't actually have time to do any of that, which is really frustrating. And I think that's what the key is as to what's been making me feel a bit maybe nervous recently. Yeah, it's like a nervous excitement about what I'm doing and how the business is going and how I'm building this brand. But then on the flip side, I haven't got time to do it really. And the time I do have to do it is that, well, I'm like asleep. Which is obviously very important, getting a good night's sleep. But I want to get on with this. And hence the reason why the times that I'm doing this is changing every sort of day, which must be quite frustrating. If you were to, want to actually join us on a live one, you might never know when it's actually happening. But there is a disclaimer on the event that says this could happen at any time. Just make sure you check in with me first. So if you haven't checked in with me and you are trying to watch it when I'm not there, apologies, but I did explain that. So disclaimer, part 3. So for this one, I'm going to use my clear thread, which is not so easy to show on this screen, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm a rebel. I could do cream, I'll do cream. I shouldn't I? I like using the clear invisible thread, but I like to see what I'm doing, never mind, you know, show it properly. So find the cream thread and get back on that. It's great because I actually use this room properly now. Like it's actually a work studio. I actually come here to do the work. I'm not sure what I was doing it before. On the days off, what the days off? On the days off, I've been here for probably less than an eighth of the day. Be off. I'd be at the cafe. I'm brainstorming, or I'm trying to think about what should I do next? How should I do this business? What am I doing? Or just meeting up with people. Anything else really? Now it's like, all right, well, you ain't got any choice, do you? Either get on with it. So I don't seem to be able to pick up needles today. So we're going with a cream thread. Just a single length will do this job. We're threading onto the needle, and we're going to just do a knot in the long end. And then this is the same as any other repair. The only thing is with this fabric being so fine, you will likely see it. But I've gone for a thread that basically matches the. I'm going to do a little video of this on here, just because it will. Don't ask questions. So the cream thread matches the overlocking. It does, you know. And it means that when I tie it in, you shouldn't see it any more than the other thread. So I'm just putting that and the knot through. My hand's a bit shaky. So that's that nervous energy I've got. Or I'm just drinking tea, and I did just have quite a large coffee. Really into grinding those beans at the minute. I mean, I was beforehand. It was like a ritual, daily ritual to get up and grind the beans. Now it's become it's a good thing to do. So I'm going to be an up and over stitch on this one. I'd love to be able to film this bit on the big to show you a bit closer. That's why I'm trying to film it on the phone at the same time, because I might have to do like one of those ones where you do it on your phone. So it's just the up and over stitch, as we do for nearly all repairs. Do this one nice and close to the stitching. It's weird. Anyway, stop looking at yourself and get back to the task at hand. This is why I don't get anything done, I think. Too busy procrastinating. That's what I've done a lot of this last week or so. So we make sure that the frayed edges are the right side of the overlocking so that they aren't going to be on that inside. Remember, we're working on the inside of the blazer at the moment, so everything else will be seen if it is not that way around. So we're going to stitch it through. You see I'm going really close to that edge. I'm going to just do the first few stitches through where the original seam stitch line is. Yeah, that's it. And then once I've got a bit further along that, I can, you see you can't really see the stitch line along there. And then, well, now that I've got it in the right sort of place, I'm going to match up so where the overlocking edges, if you can see all the frayed edges are over the top part there, and then I'm going to just stitch along where that line is. But to do that, I'm going to make sure that I've pinned this all into place first of all. Very good, very good. That's it. Again, just making sure that as long as you can see the fraying over the top of the overlocking, you're good. I'll show you how that matches up on the other side in a moment. Can't get, it's so fiddly, all these fine fabrics. I mean, personally, I would just, I don't know. It's nice fabric, this, but I don't choose to sew with things like this. I just find it, you get too many problems with it, really. So just put the last little, change that pin round. Sometimes it's easy to work with smaller pins than the larger pins. So we have it all pinned out there. And then on the other side, you can see where it's pinned. And it actually is pinned so the stitch line will run along past where all the frayed edges are. In fact, what I might do to give myself a bit of a guide is use my red cloth marker and mark that out, and then I can show you a bit better. So I'm just going to go along the edge of where I'm going to stitch. So I'm just using the stitch, original stitch line to draw along. And the reason why I'm using the red cloth marker is because just in case I get any on the fabric and it goes through. Ideally, you should be using the cream or a white one on here, or maybe a yellow, but so that you can see it. Makes sense to do it with the red, and it matches the jacket colour. Go over that line there. Yeah. So what I've done is I've put the frayed fabric up higher than the overlocking, and then made sure that I've drawn my lines on as well. So I think the best way to probably sew it is Yeah, I'll do it from the other side, I think, actually. Just need to find where my needle is. It's here. And so there's my needle, and I'll get started doing this along here. So I'm going to take it back through that little bit that I just sewn. Oops. Honestly. All fingers and thumbs. So I was taking it along this this edge, wasn't I? Just take it a little bit further. Along. And then stitch all the way along. Just doing exactly the same thing all the way along. I'll put it down. Might as well, eh? Might as well. Tiring, isn't it? It actually really is tiring. I'm joking, but like really not joking either. So just going to do the stitching all the way along. Keeping those like loop stitches as tight as possible. Especially with it being such fine fabric, you've got to basically mimicking re-stitching it with a machine. If you can stitch it with a machine, then of course do that. And that's kind of what I would do usually. I would have probably re-overlocked those edges, trimmed it off, and then re-stitched it. Where's the fun in that? I think this is what I say and end up saying every time. This is the kind of like this little sit down, I'm going to do something. It needs doing. Once you've done something, especially when it means that you can then wear something again, there's a real joy in it. And I never really, I mean, as a professional, I never really got it because I never really bothered. I just thought, well, I'll just do things for other people. I don't, like, everyone's always saying, oh, as a fashion lecturer or designer, you must make stuff for yourself all the time. No, I don't even repair my stuff. I go and pay somebody else to do it. No, I don't do that. I think I have done in the past, just pure laziness. But the sort of joy it brings you when you've actually repaired something yourself, yes, it's nothing but good, really. That is the one thing I might just do on this, though, is to overlock that edge off, because I am quite concerned that the fabric will just continue to fray if I don't, and that I can't really let that happen, just because I'm not doing I'm doing a hand stitch as it is. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the bases with that, really. Don't probably need that anymore, seems though it's run out of storage. Always. Yeah, so just carry on the stitching up and under, over, and just like you're a real sewing machine. I'm a real boy. All the way along. Well, what else have I been doing? Can't really think. Oh, we did some great stuff. We did like we had a little VE day party, just like we went on a video call with my sister and their family, and yeah, just my sister did a quiz, and we did that online on the My Quiz site. That's been really good to do that. We've done loads of stuff. Yeah, you forget. Funny, I'm talking to myself. Is it? It's the first sign of madness, isn't it? Well, I've been doing it for a very long time, so I think I'm past that first stage. Way past. Hey, I'd rather be a little eccentric and a little bit mad. Well, I ain't got any choice anyway, have I? So this is nearly finished along that stitching now. Yeah. Go all the way along to the point where my cloth marker is ended on the back onto the seam. I'm going to make sure that that is nice and tightly finished off. And then I tell you what we're going to do. Yeah, I'm going to finish that. I'm going to do an up and over stitch on it, and then I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to use one of my industrial machines today, because then I'll use exactly the same machine for the paisley dress, which has been needed to be fixed for some time. In fact, I think I've been wearing it with just holes around my waist for ages. No one thought to say, or maybe never even noticed. Oh well. Right, just finishing this off. Up, over, through and around. Finish it off. Do a nice tight stitch. Might even sling a knot in there. I feel like I'm doing this at like double speed, but it's not. Well, it's not even that fast. So just do a nice little knot or two to finish it off, and just wrap it around itself and then pull it tight, keeping your thumb on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. Again, just another one, and then trim the thread off. So what we have is, should be quite a nice and neat little edge on that, and then you can see where I stitched over the pencil line on there. Hopefully you can see it, maybe not see it, but it's there. And then I'm not happy about all this extra thread, so what I want to do is join the original overlocked seam that's still there, and join that to this thread that's loose. So I'm going to try. Oh, this could go entirely wrong, but look, am I going to take a chance there? I'm going to put a light on there so that you can see what I'm actually doing. Oh no, I swear it's all. I told you it's all going to go wrong. You hear it all crashing down on me. Crashing down. Well, you get a lovely view of the window, but that's not. Ah, yeah. All right. This is going to work. It's going to be fine. You can vaguely see what I'm doing there, and you can see two machines, beautiful machines. This one here is the overlocker, and it's threaded up with some yellow threads at the moment. I don't mind whether it's yellow, red, cream, orange, it's all fine. And yeah, it's quite dark down here though, so I'm going to just put some more lights on the in on the action if I can. Yeah, that's not so easy. Yeah, almost there. Just got my hand in there. Ah, what a lovely piece of video this is going to be. But it's important that while I'm doing it, I might try and show you how to do it. Well, I think that's not a bad shot of the overlocker. Yes, so this is the overlocker. It's a full thread overlocker, which means I can stitch fabric that is stretchy fabrics on a 4 thread. You can get 3 thread and a 5 thread, but yeah, all I need is a 4 thread, and then you can see a little shot of the industrial lock stitch, which is the main sewing machine. But once you see these beasts going, you're going to want one of your own. It's cold over this end of the room though. Something like that. That's not cool, is it? Anyway, it's not about how warm I am or cold I am. I can just grab my tea. That's what I'm going to do. But don't use it in the machine. Well, I'm having a good time. On with the job. So I want to overlock the edge off this. I'm not going to go into a whole how to use the overlocker at the moment because it's just not appropriate, and it's going to take a lot more than just a little quick video. So this is something that you probably could do before you actually stitched into this, but if you like me and you decide on things last minute, then you can do it afterwards. It doesn't matter. You can overlock before or after. I'm guessing though overlocker's not plugged in, but it soon will be. Oh yeah. Oh, look at it. It's so nice. Anyway, got my snippers at the ready. Got my machine on. I'm sat down now. It's a squeaky chair though. Anyway, so I have my jacket. I need to do some overlocking. Now, if you watch any of the other videos, you will see how to do this properly. I'm not, as I say, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to do it so that you can see that this is what I would choose to do. And actually, it's probably good that the yellow thread is on, because you'll see it. You'll be able to understand what I've done. Hopefully, anyone out there? No. All right. Well, I'll carry on. So, just going to use a nice gentle stitch to finish off that edge, just so I know that that is highly unlikely to come undone without some sort of proper, reasonable, purposeful damage. Fingers crossed it should. Now I've got this machine on a really slow setting at the minute, just because I've been doing some recycled fabric cushions with it, and when I'm doing it, it's all very good and easy to do. It's just if you go too fast, the stretch on the cushions is just crazy. that's something I could do while we're on it. Oh, there's too many things to do. So, I don't like this chair squeaking. So, that is the overlocked edge. And that's it. So I've done that, nice and easy. Put that inside out, back the way it came. And where you can't even tell where it was. So that's all done, all fixed. The only thing I haven't done is just top stitch that little opening that I did in the bottom. See, ideally I should just do a nice little finishing stitch along there to do that. I'm not going to do it now because I've just set up to do the overlocking now. So I'm going to leave that for now, put that back on my mannequin, and then I'm going to get my other dress to do. Here's one I prepared earlier. Now, so this has holes. Oh, where were the holes? Did have loads of holes. Where have the holes gone? Ah, oh, there's one. Ooh. Yeah, I can't really show it other than sticking me. Oh dear. Anyway, to repair that, it's easier to show you this side actually, because you can see where the overlocking has come undone. Now the overlocking uses a stretchy dress, stretchy threads, so the 4 thread will be perfect for this. And you can see all the way along that the seam has come undone. It's basically all the way around the midriff. Oh dear. Yeah, I can't see any other bits that need stitching up. So all I'm going to do is overlock that edge all the way closed. Now, if you don't have an overlocker, you could quite easily do the same as what we've done on all the other repairs and stitch along the bottom edge of the overlocker. That's nice and easy to do. But with an overlocker, it's so even easier. If I can get my words out. Now, one side of the dress is already, it's all fine. It's this side that's the problem. So that's the side that I'm going to do. So I'm going to put my dress in to the point where I'm going to start overlocking, put it in, and then just stitch it along. Again, this can be easily done with just a normal stitch along the edge of where the overlocking was and the seam line. Again, just whatever if you are using an overlock, just make sure you're taking it nice and easy. These machines can go a lot faster than I'm doing. Yeah, put it on like the snail setting. It's like a snail or a jaguar, panther and a snail. Yeah, and I've got it on like the snail one at the minute. Otherwise, it just goes too fast. So just nicely. Oh, it does feel nice getting some done. Just snip that off at the end. If you can see quite clearly that yellow stitching is done on the overlocking, and now I don't have any holes in my dress. That took far too long to repair that, but never mind, eh? Worse things happen. But yeah, no holes now, and the overlocking stitch is all fixed. I see. So I think that is probably enough for the repairs today. I will finish off sewing up my little red blazer, and yeah, that's a nice easy one. I might even save that one till Friday if we do a little virtual repair cafe on Friday. So I have been doing plenty of stuff, uploading loads of different videos on YouTube. We're doing quite a lot of live Facebook videos. So the live Facebook videos, twice weekly at the moment. One on Tuesday, which is today. Got the day for a moment. Just a moment. Tuesday and Friday currently, unless it's school holidays or I mean, I'm saying school holidays. You know what I mean. So yeah, Tuesdays, Fridays on the live Facebook videos. I've also started adding repair videos to YouTube. So I've got a YouTube channel now, so you can access any of these videos on there. You can access them on Facebook as well. It's all Amie Alissa Design, and you can also check out any more information on the website. If you go on YouTube and you do have a little look and you like, you know, the things that I'm doing, please like, subscribe, share it, whatever you need to do with it, please. And yeah, I will probably see you again next here on Facebook Live. Goodbye for now.